What's up guys, and thank you for watching another video from Sterling Tech guys. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. So this is the amazingly impressive Samsung S20 Ultra 5G. Guys, it's one of the most highly technical and technically impressive phones ever made by Samsung. It's a beautiful glass sandwich made from glass and aluminium frame, minimum bezels as you'd expect. It's finished in this gorgeous cosmic grey finish. It doesn't come in any unique or particularly eye-catching colors. It's more of a conservative approach by Samsung, but it works well. It looks prestigious and it looks nice, and the finish is second to none as you'd expect. It's got a massive camera bump at the back guys, but then it's got a quad camera setup, and you'd probably expect that. IP68 water resistance as you'd expect. It's got a huge 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED display screen. Now this is the unique thing about this phone guys, you can get two separate refresh rates. You can get 1440 pixels at 60 Hz refresh rate, or you can get 1080p at 120 Hz refresh rate, but you can't get the 1440 p at the higher 120 Hz refresh rate. You can also get it, you only get it at the lower 1080p. So either go for the 1440p super sharp images at 60 Hz, or you can go for the higher refresh rate of 120 Hz but only 1080p images, which is a bit of a shame. The camera hole punch is minimal, but you get the 40 megapixel awesome selfie camera, which is quite unique, and the pictures are quite pristine. You get HDR 10 plus support guys, so that means if you're watching a Netflix movie, it will adjust the HDR, the contrast between sharpness of blacks and whites according to each scene, and not just from beginning to end at a one particular rate. So it adjusts as the film scenes keep changing, and the contrast on this phone is simply quite amazing. Anyway guys, we've got 400 to 900 nits of brightness. That's one of the brightest phones ever made. Under display, ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, stereo speakers front, and the earpiece doubles up as a second stereo speaker. No headphone jack unfortunately, and no dongle provided as you'd expect on a 2020 phone. Android 10 software with One UI 2.1, which has been tweaked to make it even better. Storage starts at 128 GB guys, next is 256 GB, and all the way up to 512 GB with the possibility of SD card expansion slot as well, so you can get up to about 1 terabyte including the SD card if you added that into your storage. Snapdragon 865 in the US, and the Exynos 990 chips, which are top of the range chips as you'd expect. The power button doubles as Bixby assistant as well by default. You've got a 5000 milliamp hour massive battery life with 97 hours at 60 Hz. If you run it at the slightly lower refresh rate of 60 Hz, it will last you longer guys. There is a fast 45 watt charger in the box guys, as compared to the 25 watt chargers which you receive on the S20 and the S20 Plus. Now as you'd expect, there is fast and wireless charging. It has a very impressive gaming refresh rate guys, 240 Hz touch sensing. So if you're playing games, it is super responsive and gives you that extra bit of responsiveness for gaming. You've got a quad camera setup at 108 megapixel main camera, 48 megapixel periscope, 12 megapixel ultra. And of course guys, you've got the much talked about, or the much hyped 100 times zoom, which does work, but your pictures do end up looking slightly blurry at the end. So 30 megapixel is more than sufficient, and you'll get an extremely close-up image, which is still pretty good quality. So the quad camera setup works really well. I mean, the 108 megapixel main camera, I would still say people have compared it with the iPhone 12 and the Google Pixel cameras, which are only just 12 megapixels, and there isn't a lot of difference guys. Yes, technically on paper 108 megapixels is super impressive, the 100 times zoom is super impressive, but it doesn't actually live up to the hype. 12 megapixels are still pretty good in their own right from Apple and from Google phones. You've got also guys, night shots are surprisingly good. You've got the 8K video recording at 24 frames per second, but you'll need an 8K monitor to fully appreciate this. But the 8K video recording is absolutely pristine guys. It does stand out, very impressive. So to sum up this phone for you guys, it's got a very impressive screen, a very high refresh rate, fast charging at 45-watt charger supplied in the box. You've got stereo speakers. Sound is extremely impressive. So to sum it up, guys, this is an extremely impressive phone. It is technically brilliant. You've got 5G support. You've got a huge 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED screen. You've got the high refresh rate of 120 hertz. Although you can't run both at the same time, you can't have 1440p with 120. You can only have it at 60 hertz, but it's still super impressive. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to tell the picture quality is so good. You've got the best quad selfie camera. A 40 megapixel selfie camera. You've got quad cameras at the back, 108 megapixel main camera, 100 times zoom. You've got 8K video recording, stereo speakers, fast charging 45-watt charger in the box. Technically, guys, it is a super impressive phone, but it is also extremely expensive at £1,200, guys. It doesn't have the hand gestures as the Huawei Mate Pro 40. And it doesn't have an S Pen that you get on the Note anyway. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please be kind enough to hit the like button and subscribe.